Hi, welcome to your first Superlab exercise. In this exercise, we have lots of tasks, but we do not have a prepared packet tracer file. We will have some new components here, so I wanted to show you how to connect and configure those, but I will split this exercise into several videos. In the first video, I will show you how to create this topology in packet tracer, and then in the next video, I will provide the packet tracer file, so I will provide the clean topology as we used to call it in previous exercises. So if you don't feel like creating this from scratch, feel free to skip this video. The only thing I did so far is I saved this exercise and I'm going to look at the topology at a different screen. So I'm going to remove this and maximize this window so that you can see clearly what I'm doing. So let's start. I'm going to use these 2911 routers and we'll be needing lots of them. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this HWIC-T module, and then I'm going to insert a cover into all the other modules or module slots, and then I'm going to power on the router. Then I'm going to copy this router and start creating the topology. I'm not going to talk a lot during this because there will be lots of boring things to do. So for example, renaming the routers, router 2, router 1, router 5. So remember, I'm copying this topology, so the naming might not seem very intuitive right now in the beginning. I'm going to connect to these. So router 1 is going to be DCE. And I'm going to add all the labels later. Adding some more routers. This one's going to be router 7. And then we'll have one here and one here. This one's going to be HFC-network. And this one's going to be DSL network. Now is about the right time to add some switches. We will be using 2960. So this first one. That was a mistake, by the way. That was not intentional. I wanted to get gigabit Ethernet 0/2. And then let's add the computers. Adding the servers, they are here in the End Devices section. I'm going to add 2 servers, and they're going to act as web servers. Web 2 and Web 1. Let's connect them to switches. Now we need to add the clouds. They are in the Network Devices section and then WAN emulation. We will need both the modems and the clouds. I'm going to pick this first cloud here, and I'm going to add it right here below the HFC network router, and then the other one below DSL network router. This is going to be the HFC cloud. By the way, here we are simulating a cable network. HFC stands for hybrid fiber coaxial, and then PSTN is going to be the name of the second cloud. PSTN stands for public switched telephone network, and as you all know, DSL is based on the public switched telephone networks, so that's what we want to simulate here. And then we will add appropriate modems. Cable modem, we're going to name it modem 1, and then DSL modem, we're going to name it modem 2. It's kind of hard to fit everything here, so I'm going to have to move things around a bit. We're going to need some more routers. This will be the gateway for a cable network, HFC home. This is kind of an end user network that we want to simulate here. And this is an end user DSL network, so we'll name it DSL-home. Let's also add the switches. And then also some PCs. If we wanted to be super realistic, we would also add some Wi-Fi, but that would go beyond the purpose of this exercise. Let me rename the PCs and then connect them. To connect the PCs to their respective switches, we don't really need to pay attention to the interface that we're using because we will not be configuring switches, so you can connect the PCs wherever you like. The interfaces that we should pay attention to are the interfaces on the routers. I'm picking Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 on both sides. And then to connect these routers to cable modem and then DSL modem, I'm going to say Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and then choose port 1 on the modem. So I'm connecting the router to an Ethernet port on the modem, but I will need to use different cables to connect these modems to their respective technologies, service providers, cloud, whatever you want to call this side here. This is definitely the service provider side. So for the cable network, I'm going to use this coaxial cable. And then on the modem side, I'm going to choose this coaxial port. You can see that it looks like the coaxial port. So on the cloud, I'm going to use coaxial 7. And then for PSTN, of course, I'm going to use the phone cable, port 0. And let's choose modem 4 on the service provider side. To connect the clouds to the routers, we're going to use this straight through cable. And on the routers, we're going to use the Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 interface. And on the cloud, I'm going to use Ethernet 6. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to add labels. I'm probably going to speed up the video from here, because you can look at the finished topology and add labels yourself. The only thing you need to do is click here or press the N key on your keyboard, and you will be ready to add labels. For example, I'm going to start from here. This router is the DCE side, so I'm going to say that. This interface is serial 001 on both sides. So I'm going to put that here in the middle, and so on and so on. This should be it. As promised, I'm going to upload this packet tracer file with the next video. See you there.